When we take a look at our 4-3 defense, after we've got everything scattered, there's some basic things that we look at. This is the same as what we do on the other videos. Basically, we draw the imaginary line through the outside leg of the tackles, and we look what we got. So here we got 5 on 5. So in something like this, I'd probably be looking to run off tackle. Here is also 5 against 5. So we're okay to run off tackle. And once they get shaded, I'm comfortable running up the middle. On these two over here, these two alignments, because they've kept their backers in the box and not bringing their backers out to take care of our wings, this is where I'm going to attack the flank. Definitely 5 versus 7 and 5 versus 6, I'm going to attack the flank. And the basically what happens is in the 4-3 is they keep their backers in. And here with the tight end, they have to take their defensive end out, but they've really crowded the box. Going back over here, what they've done, what we see often is because we're in that loose formation and we have a wing back right here, a lot of teams we face will slide their backer out slightly to account for that. And when they do that, then we feel more comfortable running up the middle. Some of the fronts that we look at with the 4-3 defense is with no tight ends, some coaches will stack, and then some coaches will shade their DNs outside. Not very often do we see this where everybody's shaded out, because now you've asked the Mike backer to take care of both A gaps. Usually what we see is one shade. When they shade here, that tells us that backer is going to be responsible for the gap. Now, if it's a double shade, then this backer is going to be free to roam. And like I said, we never see both as a double shade. Our tight end alignments is very important as we're hunting for the 3-tech. So we get a tight end in, now you get a 3-tech in there, and if the DN's outside shade, that tells us what the linebacker's responsibility is. If that DN was in here, they've got to slide their backer out and to take care of the gap. So these are things that we're looking at when we're scouting. So here's a good example of what we're really looking for when we attack the 4-3 is one of the things is we want to know what those two inside backers are doing. So here's a case where they're going to take the C gap because the defense linemen have the 1 and 3. But over here, once I know that their DNs are inside or stacked and they walk their backers out a little bit, then they're asking their backers to take care of that outside gap. That's one of the 3 things that we're looking for when we attack the 4-3. Again, I've already went through this on the other PowerPoints. It's very important that you count your defense, and this is an example of how we count them. And the numbers 1 and 2, the order is on who we think has each gap. And the 3 and 4 is very important to us. When we're attacking a 4-3, some of the things we're looking for, there's 3 basic things I'm looking for. First of all, like I already explained, is what gap do those Sam and Willie backer has, and the shade of the defensive end usually will tell us that. The other thing we're looking for, and there's an example of the C gap. The other thing we're looking for is when we bring our tight end in, as you can see down here, now I've brought a tight end and we're not loose. What are they going to do now with their defensive end alignment with that tight end? Are they going to outside shade them, which the traditional 4-3, you know, the rules of the 4-3 is they're going to outside shade them, but they're always so conscious of keeping our tight end off the backer. We've seen him head up, we've seen him inside. And of course, if he's inside, if they move that end in right here, then somebody is going to be asked to take that. If they're here and the backer's here, we're expecting a pre or post snap roll into a cover 3 look by that safety. They've got to account for that outer edge. And of course, we're going to run something out there and make them prove to us that they've accounted for the outer edge. I was told a long time ago, don't give the other coach too much credit. Make him prove to you that he knows how to stop what you're thinking. So if that Sam backer has the C gap and the defensive is outside shade, we're going off tackle against them if it's an outside shade from the defensive end. Now, with no tight end, some of the things we're going to look for is there any shades inside? What we see with when we're balanced is usually they stack the guards, but some coaches, they've already taught these techniques, so even though we're balanced, they stay in their shade. So then we got to figure out really early in the game or on film, is how are they shading it? A lot of coaches will go with the quarterback's arm, or they'll go strength of the wide side of the field, and so we want to figure that out because there's things we run at the 3-tech and there's things that we run at the 1-tech. Over here, when we bring the tight end in, where's the shade? So with the 3-tech was what I'm looking for, is I've seen 4-3 teams that shade the outside eye of the guard or the inside eye of the tackle, and then sometimes they just put them right in the gap. So we're trying to figure out where that shade is there with the 3-tech. And some general rules is, when we get in the game is, we want to find the 3-tech so we can run these plays. We want to find the 1-tech so we can run these plays, okay? And when the Sam and Mike backer are inside and have B-gap responsibilities, then they're really vulnerable in the flats, and we're going to run out there in the flank with options and things like that. And another thing we figure out real early in the game is, what are they going to do with their safeties? Are they going to stay in a 2-deep look, which means their corners are pressed up, or are they going to invert their safeties with motion? I'm going to talk about that. And of course, in trips and unbalanced, are they going to try to stay in a 2-safety shell or bring one of the safeties up to the trips or unbalanced and basically have a cover 3 over the top? And the corners will tell us if it's press 2 or cover 4.
Pause. Okay.
The last thing in the 4-3 is we want to see what their alley player doing. Because we're running so much option, the safety's got to be aggressive and come up on as an alley player. And we can try to use that aggressiveness against them. We really emphasize that the line blocking has to be the same, whether it's belly or belly pass or belly option. We want our tackle coming down hard and our guard aggressively log blocking, because most teams are going to teach that safety to read the last man on the line of scrimmage. So they've got to look the same, and we really impress upon that all year long, not just the weeks we play the 4-3 teams. And waggle and boot passes are good because we're always going to send somebody over there in that 12-yard zone. And if the safeties are getting really aggressive, the guy that has the 12-yard drag on waggle and boot, we'll just take them off and go in a skinny post. We have a play I'm going to show up here later called cruise pass, where our tight end comes off on waggle and boot, and he reads the safety. And if the safety comes in hard, we just fly right by him. For us, just real quick, the difference between waggle and boot is, waggle we're pulling both guards, and boot is a solid protection scheme. Okay, now that you've seen the plays running up inside, let's take a look at the plays that we're going to run off tackle. Again, we're going to run off tackle when their defensive end outside shades are tight in, or if they take their Sam or Willie backer and go out on our wing backs. So here's 26G lead. Just to give you an example, because their ends outside shade here, we're able to kick and really get going. The one thing that I like about the G lead is it gives you an opportunity to get a double team in there. 26GT. 26GT, again, I want to be able to run some counter tray stuff so I can get both blockers over there and going. So that's a good play for us, especially when he's shadowing him. If he's not reading lineman and he's shadowing, we're going to get this kind of action here for a second and then go. And then hopefully by the time that gives them time, one of these guys to chip off. What we teach is head here, left shoulder, right shoulder, and we're squeezing, and we got all 4 sets. In a perfect world, what I tell him is, you need to work harder in the weight room than him. It's 2 against 1. Knock him into his teammate. Crisscross 43 counter. I'm going to show some game film of this. It's a really good play. The 26 GT and the 26G lead that I just showed you set this play up. The 2 plays I just showed you, 26 lead and 26 GT, set this play up because it's the same backfield action. He just steps and gives a direct handoff with the tailback leading. That's what the tailback does on 26G lead. So they're thinking it's 26G lead, and now they see the handoff, but now he comes over here and the left half hands off to the right half. They're inside handoffs. So if I'm coming at you and I'm going to give you the ball, I'm going to get the handoff. We teach a breadbasket handoff. So I'm going to get the handoff like this, not like this. I'm going to get the handoff like this. And now I'm coming at you. So the quarterback was outside of me. The quarterback's inside handoff to me. And then I'm going to just go like this and just push the ball over and give you an inside handoff. So it went quarterback, me, and then you're the right half and you're coming at me, and I'm just going to take it here and slide over. It happens really fast. You don't have time for this and turn over, you're going to fumble. So they just hold the ball here and push it out. Let's take it out to the field and look at some practice footage, and then we'll look at some game film of how we attack off tackle against a 4-3 defense. All right, coaches, here's our 26G lead. As I explained, lead for us is the lead blocker for here. And the reason we like this is because as the tailback, as the halfback comes in motion, the quarterback's going to step straight over here, come on, and just give me the handoff, and I'm going to run it. It sets up a future play called counter crisscross, which now we give the handoff, go Robert, and then now instead of me running the ball behind this lead block, we're going to bring our right half back and run crisscross with the double handoff. I'm going to show you that in a couple minutes. So this play sets up crisscross 43 counter. Here we go, 26G lead. Here we go, fellas. Now, hey, now you got to snap it earlier so that he doesn't outrun his guard. Here we go. Good. Back on the ball. Coaches, if you're having trouble with this fold corner because it's a tight end in flank, we'll just go with a heavy call. We'll bring our split in over in a heavy, put our split in on the same side as tight end. He has to go out and honor it, and then we get rid of that because you saw he created problems right there. We can't account for him, okay? Coaches, same backfield action as before. We set up the crisscross counter, but I can change the pulling action. Again, I wanted ways to have counter without having a tight end. So we're going to pull both these guys, run the counter. Buck sweep action. So as Robert comes in and fakes his G fake, he'll just kind of wind back and take care of this in. One of the coaching notes is we're going to get a good double team here, which kind of in the wing T, we don't get a lot of double teams. And these are the kind of plays where we can get double teams. So as these guys come off the double team, they want to really squeeze the double team freeze, and their heads want to be up. Their heads want to be up. And if this Mike backer sees that window like he's taught, the guard's got to step off and pick that up. Good, rewind. And if somehow the tight end gets stung real well and gets caught up, and this guy wants to come this way, then this guy would come off like that, okay? So that's a good coaching note. All right, fellas, let's take a look at that. Whoa. Shit. Nice job, nice job. Okay, we've ran the 26G lead, 26GT to set up crisscross counter. It's gonna be our double handoff. The left half's gonna get the handoff and then get the handoff. The key is the breadbasket handoff. They can't go like this or gonna get a fumble. So he's gonna hand off like this and go like that, like explained in the PowerPoint. And then we run our regular counter rules and the tailback's gonna replace over here. So here we go. This is a Liz motion, 43 crisscross counter. Liz motion, crisscross 43 counter. Here we go. Nice, 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 nice. That looked really good. Looked really good. Okay, hustle back on the ball. Coaches, I'm gonna show you a really cool wrinkle where after do the crisscross, you can run an option and pitch it to the quarterback with the edge. It's kind of a trick play. All right, fellas, hey, now understand, my players have never ran this before, so let's see how this looks. Hey, run the exact same play, but Q, come outside, and when you come up here, Moffitt's gonna come up and then pitch it to Phillip. Phillip's gonna be the option man. So Phillip, kind of hang loose, kind of go deep. You gotta give a 5x2 relationship. Moffitt, come hard and make Q pitch off you. I want you to squeeze down and manual. Log the defensive end. Don't change anything. Don't change anything.
Okay.
Q's just gonna pitch it to Phillip. That's it. It's a little trick play. Here we go. Crisscross, 43 counter option. Nice. Coaches, next play is the buck sweep, and as I explained in the PowerPoint, we're going to take advantage of his technique. So as our tight end, Tyler, take your one step. As our tight end escape steps, a good taught defensive end is going to step down with it, which makes this block easy because we're giving up a lot of weight. Q is one of our starting varsity running backs, and you're probably like me, most running backs are about 120, 140, 150 pounds. We're asking him to block a really big DN. So him mirror stepping is what makes this play. If he's going to resist and fight this, then we're going to run down. So here we go. This is 26GO. Liz motion, 26GO. Yes, 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 Steph. Bam. Nice. Hustle on the ball, Let's run it one more time with a different kick out. Coaches, what will happen sometimes is that sandbacker's going to scrape really, really hard. So we'll kick him out, and then the backside guard will get the rolled up corner. So let's look at it this way with a hard coming sandbacker. Here we go. Liz, 26GO. Bam, nice, 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 perfect. Good job, fellas, good job, good job.
Okay, let's look at some game film of how to attack the 4-3 defense with off-tackle plays. The buck sweep's a great play away from the tight end versus the 4-3 defense. Here, you're going to see it with no motion because the wingbacks are so fast, they don't need the motion. The backside guard pulls too wide, so he can't snap and get that inside backer. And also the left wing is too high when he's blocking that DN. He's got to hit those hips and crab down to the legs. Here's buck sweep without the tight end, and with that, the backside guard, in this case left guard, he's got to get that Mike backer. He runs right by it. The Mike backer misses the tackle. That could have been a 0-yard gain. Here, the left guard does get the Mike backer, but the backside linebacker is not honoring guard trap or waggle fakes, and so he comes in and makes the tackle. Here the wingback block is too low and he ends up chopping the DN, but the guard doesn't pull wide enough to get around that, and so we get kind of a collision and makes everybody off track. So the backside guard ends up having to get the DN, so now trailing linebackers and safeties make the tackle. Here our right guard, our leading guard, is trying to pull a kid who ended up going D1 to Stanford, and he just dips under the block. And also you're going to see our left guard, when he pulls, he just slips on the turf. Otherwise he would have got the guy that made the tackle. I think this could have been a bigger gain. Here the play's pretty much perfect. The left guard slips again on our new turf, but I really like the right wing's block on the DN. He really gets low, hits the hips, and crabs it down. And you get a good alley here. The end zone view shows a really good alley. The right wing does a good job on their inside backer. The lead plays are good plays because you're not pulling both guards, leaving yourself vulnerable to blitzing. Here, Madera doesn't pull any guard. They just get on the goal line. They just send the fullback up to lead block. Here we are going, and there's a different handoff here. Madera does the handoff behind the quarterback. We always did our handoff in front because we want to set up crisscross counter, and that's another reason to run the play. Here we're going to run into the tight end side so we get a good down block on the 3-tech, but our tight end screws up and blocks the kick out guy, so the left guard gets confused. We're trying to insert that up inside. Here it is with a 2 tight end set. We were trying to get them to overship, but they balanced up, but that's okay. Actually, the plays ran pretty well. We get a good double team, which I like with the lead plays, but our right guard, pull left, hit left, and he hits with the wrong shoulder. He allows the D lineman to wrong shoulder him. I don't really like the down play against the 4-3 defense, but here's some clips, and you can decide. Here Madera does a good job making some good yardage against a very good team. The team in the greens end up being a section finalist in our section. Here Coach Minicue from Florida uses the motion guy to crack the inside backer, and now the pulling guard ends up hitting the strong safety who has rolled up. Blocking wise, this play's not executed very well, but I want to show you the full backfield look. It's kind of an interesting way to run down where you don't have to use motion. Okay, let's go back to the board and look at the flank attack or the perimeter attack against a 4-3 defense.